Where's all my shit? Where's my freaking comic books? Hey guys, welcome to our Crisis on Infinite Earths review. The Crisis event on the CW just ended last Wednesday?
Yeah,
was it?
That was it.
So maybe not just ended, but...
Tuesday? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 episodes, 3 days in a row, right?
Yeah. So Crisis on Infinite Earths, the first half of the event ended last Tuesday. And it's coming back January...
13th.
And it's going to be a 2-hour special concluding the whole event. For those of you that don't know, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a big comic book event back in the 80s, I think. Does it sound about right? 80s-ish.
I haven't read
I'm sure there'll be a little graphic at the bottom telling me that I'm wrong when we post this video. But basically, over the years, with so many different interpretations of the DC characters, things started to get very convoluted. There was a lot of conflicting storylines, a lot of conflicting history, different interpretations of different characters' origins. So Crisis on Infinite Earths was a way of crossing over all these different interpretations, while at the same time giving a way to ultimately clean up the continuity. So what happened in the original Crisis was this all-knowing character, godlike character, the Monitor, comes into play, and he begins assembling different heroes from different universes to...
Okay, so the audio and video got a little messed up here. It seems like Chris was saying that the Monitor was gathering heroes to help stop the destruction of the multiverse, but only one universe could survive.
It's reborn as what we now call New Earth. So, Nick, what have you thought so far of the Crisis?
So, not having read the comics...
You haven't read... I thought you have read Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I've skimmed through some pictures when I was young and wouldn't read. So
well, we'll fix that. I'll give it to you when we get done here.
Alright. Anyways, so I really liked it. There was a couple moments that were a little underdeveloped, a little disappointing.
The first episode was rough.
Yeah.
The first episode, the writing was off, the acting was weird. Stephen Amell's the Arrow's death was awful.
Spoiler.
I still thought his acting was pretty good, but they gave him the worst dialogue they possibly could have. And just the whole thing that somehow his death resulted in 1 billion lives saved, but he was on one rooftop, on one random building, fighting the shadow demons in this one area. How did his sacrifice save 1 billion people?
Because that city, how many people might have been in that city?
Not 1 billion.
Not 1 billion.
1 billion would be about
maybe some millions.
Population.
Maybe some millions at most. If he was able to distract the whatever they were called, what were they called? Wraiths?
Shadow demons.
Shadow demons. If he was able to distract them, that might have stopped them from, say, disabling the engines on the ships before they got through the wormhole.
Yeah, but there had to be ships all across the Earth.
Yeah. But it seemed they were coming out of that one location and attempting to spread, but
I don't buy it.
I don't know.
So the first episode was pretty rough, although it did have a really cool opening. It opened on Earth 89, which is apparently where the the Tim Burton Batman universe exists. Which there was one little weird thing that I noticed there was that the actor that plays Knox reprised his role, and he was holding a paper that said that Batman finally captures the Joker. But Joker died in Batman 89.
Did he? Is there more to that story that we're just not
He
aware
fell
of?
off a building and they found his corpse.
Yo, holy shit, he dead.
Anyway, so that was the first. I think that was the first alternate Earth we saw. So that was pretty cool, and then we do briefly get to glimpse Earth 67 or something like that. Where we see Burt Ward reprising his role as Robin, and we also see Ace the Bat Hound, and Burt Ward looks up at the skies, and I believe he says, "Holy crimson skies," before they're all obliterated. While I usually like the actor that plays Wells, all the different interpretations of Wells, he's really god-awful in this.
Yeah.
Although that might be by design, because Cisco does poke fun at the way he's talking.
We don't really know too much about Nash Wells to...
We know he's never talked like that before.
Yeah, we know he's never talked like that before, but we don't really know enough about him to like gauge how he might be acting after turning into, spoiler for the name, Pariah.
We're all in spoiler territory right now. But so we do see what other Earths do we see in the beginning?
In the beginning, I don't know, 3, 4 different Earths. I think it jumps to Earth 2 then for Supergirl, like right after that.
Isn't Supergirl's Earth like Earth 8 or something?
Or Earth 8. Oh, wait.
Oh, we see Earth X. We see the ray on Earth X
Yeah,
as their Earth is destroyed. I'm not going to try to do this all in order. So some of the other Earths that we see an Earth that's actually 2 different Earths that are each somewhat representative of the Kingdom Come universe. We see, and we also know that the Kingdom Come universe that Brandon Routh's Superman inhabits is the same universe that Christopher Reeves.
He is the Superman Returns, Christopher Reeves 1 through 4. Superman.
Yeah, but what's funny about that is Superman Returns retconned that universe. Don't wind him up. Retconned that universe so that it was supposed to be a sequel to Superman 2, and they stated that 3 and 4 never happened. But the problem with that is that he mentions having fought an evil version of himself, which occurred in Superman 3. Yeah. But he does, this is fully confirmed when he mentions his son, Jason, towards the end of the second episode. But with regards to the acting issues, I did think, with the exception of Pariah, it got much better in 2 and 3.
It did.
And as promised, we got to see a live-action version of Bruce Wayne, played by Kevin Conroy. But in a surprise twist, he was a Batman that has gone bad.
He's like if Batfleck was able to continue.
He's what Batfleck eventually would have became.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of when he said that he killed people. I was thinking Batfleck.
Yeah, but I don't think Batfleck almost did go to the point of killing Superman. But they also hinted that this Batman had known Clark for years before that and still went to that point of killing him. But what didn't make sense to me was they made it seem that the reason he killed Clark was because Clark was too willing to play by the book. And that just seemed like a strange reason to go that way.
I mean, if you're standing in a room with Superman, and he wants to do one thing, and you want to do another, who do you think is going to win this?
Basically, jumping to the end of these 3 episodes, some of the big takeaways is Oliver is eventually resurrected as the Spectre, which a lot of people saw coming.
Mm-hmm. We're skipping a major thing that led to that point, though. The introduction of Earth 666, Tom Ellis's Lucifer.
Yes, which Tom Ellis Tom Ellis in an interview confirmed that that his scene took place before the events of the series.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah, so that was confirmed. I thought you were saying, going to him like saying that, no, I'm not in Crisis, I'm just
which means that what we see on Lucifer may be the merged universe, the new Earth.
I don't know. How would you react? Alright, with the reactions that we've seen in Lucifer to people finding out he's actually the devil, do you think they would have been that extreme if superheroes were real?
I don't know. Or we're getting a new multiverse, but let's get into that a little bit later. So Tom Ellis, Lucifer, Constantine approaches him for help. They go to Purgatory with the help of a magic card that opens the door that Lucifer gives them.
Yep.
And they run into the original Spectre,
who basically gives a brief introduction to himself and tells Oliver that he needs to become the Spectre so that he could do more good. And Oliver, after knowing him for like 2 seconds, is like, yeah. That part I kind of threw me through a little.
But Ollie trusts Constantine, and didn't they establish Constantine knew him?
I don't remember that part.
Knew that, I think the original Spectre's Jim Corrigan. I may be wrong about that. But he was a police officer, and I think they established that they knew each other. So Ollie may have trusted him so easily because he trusts Constantine, and Constantine trusted him.
Either way, it was a pretty quick decision that blew my mind.
So, and we kind of knew this was coming because I said to you earlier in the Arrow season, because they show, how in the beginning of every episode for every season, Stephen Amell talks about how he needs to become something else. And this season, when they did it, it's like, what else is he going to become? He's the Green Arrow already. But it showed him in the Green Hood coming out of fog, which immediately made me think Spectre, who is probably the only other character in the DC universe that wears a green hood, and we so happen to have Ollie now becoming another Green Hood character. Now, Hal Jordan becomes Spectre in the comics, so it kind of makes sense that in this universe where we don't yet have a Green Lantern, which we are getting soon, I'll get into that a little bit later, but we don't yet have a Green Lantern, that it would be the Green Arrow, one of the Green Lantern's closest friends in the comics, that becomes the Spectre instead.
I hope we get to see Green Lantern by the end of this.
Yeah. So, rushing through it a little bit, so we have the 7 Paragons, who turn out to be all the characters that we basically already knew of, plus
Plus,
Brandon Routh's Superman. and Ryan Cho, who in the comics is the new Adam. And am I forgetting anybody else? The others just all the main.
Kate, Supergirl. Why am I drawing a blank?
Barry. Oh, one was Iris, right? Was Iris a Paragon?
I don't think she was.
Was Rory a Paragon?
Nope.
What do we got? Courage, hope,
Love.
truth.
We're bad at this.
Anyway, there's 7 Paragons. And these 7 Paragons are somehow supposed to work together to save the multiverse, or at least one universe. So some other big events, we have Lex Luthor, who's currently wreaking havoc with the Book of Destiny. And we have, so the Earth 90 Flash, John Wesley Shipp from the original 90 series, was running on the treadmill powering the antimatter cannon.
And if he stopped, it caused a failsafe, which just caused the cannon to go kaboom anyways and destroy everything all at once.
So they get there. Black Lightning's universe is destroyed. He's pulled in last minute by a pariah so that he can contain as much of the energy for as long as possible. And
while they make a plan.
While they make a plan, and Flash makes the decision to make the ultimate sacrifice. Except that our Flash, the Flash that we thought was going to do this, he has his speed stolen from the Earth 90 Flash, who then, I believe he runs in reverse on the treadmill. Is that how he did it?
I thought it was going... Yeah, I think
to
it was
destroy
reverse.
to destroy it.
Yep, and then he disintegrates, and
we have a quick flashback to him talking to his Iris.
Yeah.
During the original series, which is pretty cool. And it was cool that we had this nice conclusion because the original Flash series was canceled unexpectedly and never had a real conclusion. So, as those who've read the comics know, Harbinger is brainwashed by the Anti-Monitor, and she ends up turning on all the heroes and killing most of them. The last Earth is destroyed. Pariah saves who he can, transporting them to a place that's beyond space and time.
A place where the legends have been before. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. It looks like... what are you doing?
The something point. Right?
Vanishing Point?
Vanishing Point. Yeah. So they're transferred to the Vanishing Point.
And
Lex Luthor switches places last minute.
Freaking Brandon Routh's.
With Brandon Routh's Superman. Rewrites himself as the Paragon of Hope. Or
Truth.
Of Truth. So...
He's just getting on my nerves.
So yeah, that's where we're at. So I have some ideas, but I first want to hear where you think the next 2 episodes are going to go. And the universe as a whole.
Universes or universe?
Whichever.
They are all one and the same. I really don't know. I think this is a good opportunity to put together...
Clean the slate.
Put together the superheroes that they've established and have more opportunity for crossovers by unifying everything under one Earth.
Yeah, hopefully remove some of the cheese that's developed over the last few years.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love the Flash series, the first couple of seasons were the best. And it just got cheesier and cheesier as it went on.
Well, I feel like it's the same, but like it became cheesy after being with it for so long.
The first season was very strong.
Him and Oliver just always have the same MO. Like he's always getting lessons, and Oliver's always brooding.
But I have some other theories. So there's a few things that I think could happen. Well, it's going to go one or two ways. Either we're going to have a new multiverse that's created out of this, or we are going to have one merged Earth where everything is rectified, where history is rewritten and they incorporate different aspects, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That would be a very tall order.
Well, it would have to be the start of each season, would have to be like going through some major changes while throughout the first season afterwards fine-tuning the smaller points.
But I think what's actually going to happen is going to be somewhere in between. And this... Ollie, calm down. And this is why I think that. So, in the beginning of the Crisis comic limited series, we have Alexander Luthor, who is the son of Lex Luthor from another universe. Probably the closest universe in this series would be Earth X. He is sent from his dying Earth. He's transported by his father to a safe place where he grows up and ultimately becomes the hero that's able to fix everything and save the multiverse, or the new universe, rather. In this, at the very beginning of the Crisis series, we also have a world being destroyed, New Krypton, and Jonathan Kent, the baby, is sent away and ends up on a possible future where Oliver finds him and Lois goes and retrieves the baby, right?
That's similar to the side story of when Jonathan was sent off of the planet that Lois and Clark were on, where Clark didn't have any powers, so he had to put Jonathan
That's
in
what I'm talking about. I'm saying in the series, in the show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the comics.
No, the comics was Alexander Luthor.
Okay. I missed that. I'm spacing.
And so we had that happen, okay? They, in the comics for a long time, they believed that the multiverse was destroyed. But then, eventually, in Kingdom, which was a series that was a continuation of Kingdom Come, which has been heavily referenced, there is a character that reveals that hypertime also exists. In hypertime, whereas the multiverse are different alternate universes, hypertime is all alternate timelines that also approximate these other universes. So even if the multiverse is destroyed, there's still these alternate timelines that are similar to the alternate universes. And the character that emerges from the shadows and reveals this and helps the heroes from Kingdom return to their universe is Jonathan Kent from the future.
I smell a setup.
See how these pieces are kind of falling together? So we can have a new universe that's emergence of these different timelines, and then we can have Jonathan Kent, a future Jonathan Kent at the end, reveal that these other universes still exist in a way in these alternate timelines.
Have we had Wally in Young Justice come back yet?
No.
I want to see him jump into live action.
Well, they just
Going
hinted.
through all that.
They just dropped a hint. They were talking about Kid Flash and said he will be returning to the show shortly, but in a very different way.
You're talking Young Justice?
No, I'm talking Arrowverse. They said Kid Flash will be returning, but there will be some changes made.
I like where this is going. Was there a flash to the DC Universe Titans at the very beginning of the Crisis as well? Why do I feel like I remember that?
Say this again? DC Universe Titans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was there a flash at the Crisis event to that universe? Why do I feel like I remember that?
At the Crisis event? Like when it showed
In
that
the
Earth?
Crisis, the very first episode. Why do I feel like it showed? We're gonna have to rewatch it.
No, it only showed... No, I know this. It only showed Hawk and Jason Todd. It's the only two characters it showed.
Yeah. But it had to be the Titans universe.
It was the Titans universe.
Yeah, that's what
It was those actors.
That's what I'm saying. Is when we were going back through, going through the different universes.
And we also had the Smallville universe.
I just remembered that one.
With Smallville as well. And then we had a universe with an unnamed actor that we're not sure of, who was wearing a costume very similar to the New 52 Superman and was killed in a fashion that almost appeared like the death of Superman when he was killed by Doomsday, but it said on the news that he was killed by Lex Luthor. And then we had Earth... What Earth? I forget what they called it. Earth 2000. Birds of Prey.
Oh my god.
Helena Wayne was killed.
Can you please? Ace.
What?
He's gonna be Ace on this show.
That was one of the names we actually considered for him. Amanda pulled up the list the other night of names that we considered for him. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Another show coming shortly to the...
Go to your dad.
Over here. Another show coming shortly to the CW is Stargirl. And... Stop. And the trailer teases the Justice Society and specifically teases the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott. So we will soon be getting a version of the Green Lantern.
But no John Diggle Green Lantern. They can still do that in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, but all the other Earths are destroyed. Was John Diggle one of the heroes that was saved, or was he one of the ones that died?
Nah, he didn't make it.
So who all survived?
We already tried one through the Paragons and we can't remember.
Was it mainly the Paragons that were?
It was just the Paragons.
Okay. What about John?
Diggle?
No, Kent.
No. They killed a baby. How dare they?
We have to watch that scene again because I have a feeling. What if it doesn't actually show him erased by the...
Everything was erased. Everything.
How did he end up in another universe, though?
They pulled him back. Lois got him.
No, but when he was launched from New Krypton, how did he end up in another universe?
A wormhole?
Yeah, as the antimatter was coming through. The reason that Alexander Luthor is so powerful in the comics is because his spaceship still caught some of the antimatter and his body was infused with it, and he became an amalgamation of an antimatter universe and the ordinary matter universe. So maybe he wasn't erased.
I kind of want to be half erased now to get those kinds of powers.
So you can become godlike?
Yep.
So he may not have been erased. Something's happening with baby Jonathan Kent. I guarantee you. He's somehow integral to this whole thing.
I think Rory had him when all that stuff went down. Because he was calm with Rory.
Okay, we'll have to watch it again. Maybe a short follow-up video to reveal what we think happened to Jonathan. But I can almost bet he's going to come back as a future version as Hyperman. And I think that's pretty much it.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see though what they do if they do multiple universes, how they establish like which shows on which channels. Whether it be DC Universe, maybe we'll get a reference to Watchmen on HBO.
Maybe this will be the start of the HBO Green Lantern.
Played by John Diggle.
Played by John Diggle.
Feel bad I don't know the actual actors.
He was played by an actual actor.
All right. Also coming up this week, hopefully this week, if we can get to them all in time, I will have Watchmen just wrapped, so I will have a review of all things Watchmen, what I think about the comic versus the movie versus the TV show. And then this weekend, Nick and I, as well as Chris, will be going to see
Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
The hopeful conclusion of the Skywalker saga.
We're going to see how wrong we were on our hypotheses of what's going to go on. What's Chris always say? Stay cool, nerds.
No.
What's he say?
So if you're enjoying the show so far, or if you have any comments of things that you want done better or differently or whatever, we probably won't follow through on any of them. But like, comment, and subscribe. If you hate us, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see the alternate universe version of us, like, comment, and subscribe.
If you want to see Chris go Super Saiyan, like, comment, and subscribe.
Now you're just creating a lot of work for Dyson when he goes back and edits the videos. All right, Chris, here's your chance to prove yourself. Make me go Super Saiyan at the end of this video.